Well, I never thought I would talk about this person again. The new guy artist is back, and she's got a brand new comic that's making people scratch their heads and share. Now, after the whole new guy incident, she privated her account for a while. Now that she's back and at it, has she learned something from that experience? Is she gonna start producing more carefree comics? No more morally questionable stuff that she defends adamantly? Well, we got here a dog artist. Someone who was stuck in the house and just doesn't know what to draw. They got art block. We've all had that experience. So they decide that they need a change of scenery. They need to get some new art supplies at Dick Art Materials, which I can assume is a parody of Bic. While she's there, she steals hundreds of dollars of art supplies into her bag. I seriously doubt she even needs that much, but I guess, you know, it's a comic, so probably some over-exaggeration. And then as she's leaving, she pays for one eraser, very happy with herself. She makes a classic evil face as if she's a criminal mastermind. But it doesn't matter how much supplies you steal, because that's not going to solve your art block. Now, like most things this artist creates, a lot of it can be interpreted as parody. A lot of the main characters can be interpreted as bad, immoral people who you're not necessarily supposed to root for. Especially this, considering that it ends kind of ironically. Similar to the New Guy comic, instead of saying it's just parody, don't take it seriously, these characters are supposed to be bad people, she defends the main character. She acts like stealing is not a big deal. It's argued that she's even kind of promoting this behavior because she tweeted out this comic with the caption, "Be crimes, do gay." Obviously, it's supposed to mean be gay, do crimes. I don't know what being gay has to do with committing a crime, but people naturally had a negative reaction to the main character, and she basically responded by saying that it was not a big deal. One of these comments says, "Wait until I draw the comic about how one of my characters pirates movies or snuck into the theater at one time." Basically equating stealing hundreds of dollars of merchandise to being the same as paying $10 for a movie and then going to see another movie while you're already in there. Or piracy, which you know, I've made a video on that about how it can be argued piracy helps spread popularity of shows and media of that sort, but pretty sure that stealing hundreds of dollars of merchandise from a store doesn't really help them. I think what's especially weird about this is they're clearly a digital artist, and like even the actual artist of this comic is clearly a digital artist. So why would you even need all that art supplies? You have everything you need right there on the screen. I mean, I have art supplies, but I never even use it, and I didn't steal it either. Of course, they also linked their Ko-Fi and Patreon. This one comment kind of makes me laugh. "Wow, lots of Karens in the replies. Better go tell the manager our cartoon dog is stealing from Form, the cartoon big box store." What does that mean? What's a Karen? Am I supposed to know that? Should I Google this? Karen is a slang term used as an antagonistic female character in memes. Karen is generally characterized as irritating, entitled woman, sometimes an ex-wife who took custody of the kids. But oh my gosh, similarly to the New Guy meme, the comments, the responses of this are hilarious. What to draw today? Art block is the worst. I just need a change of scenery. Ooh, I could use some new art supplies. Get down on the fucking ground! Put the erasers in the bag, you capitalist cuck. I genuinely enjoy that one a lot. Then we got another comic where this much more detailed furry girl stops her from stealing all the stuff. What you expected versus what you got. That is relatable. That's illegal. And then Toon Crate over here is saying, if stealing is cool, then it's okay to steal the comic and Stan the Hedgehog, right? And then they're like making an alternative comic. One eraser, please. Bullshit. I'm already fleecing this dump for all it's worth. And I don't need ICQA tightening the noose just because some anarchitty tried to cut in on my action. put them back. She just leaves. And our kitty, brilliant. And of course people are mentioning that this could cause like employees to lose their jobs when you steal hundreds of merchandise regularly. And there's kind of this disconnect here because she clearly doesn't understand what people are talking about when they say that. She just mentions in a tweet that like, oh well, if the managers are firing employees for customers stealing, that's wrong on the business part. That's not wrong on my part. But no, the reason why employees would get fired for hundreds of dollars of supplies being stolen, not necessarily because they didn't stop them. Actually, most employees, unless you're a security guard, obviously, most employees are told not to do anything about customers stealing because you don't know if they're gonna get violent. But the reason why employees would get fired is because the company itself would be making less money if it's getting a lot of merchandise stolen. There's definitely a lot of stores that open up in these really bad areas. They'll get a lot of their merchandise stolen more so than paid for, so they'll just close down the entire store and fire everybody there because, you know, it's not worth it. It's not worth it for the business to keep that store open if they're going to be losing money. If you're going to the store regularly and stealing all of the merchandise, then the company will make less money and they won't have enough money to pay their workers. They'll either cut back on how many employees they have or close down the store and open somewhere else where you can't go stealing. That's how business works. So obviously, stealing is bad. Don't do it. I think the majority of the world hates shoplifters. So it's really surprising to try to defend shoplifting. Some people mentioned that this is like kind of a way that people strike back against capitalism. But if you hurt capitalism, then you hurt the workers too, because they're also profiting off of capitalism. If you take out a multi-billion-dollar company, you're costing millions of people their jobs. But now let's get to the fun part of the video where I psychoanalyze this girl. Because I've looked at quite a couple of her comics and they all seem to follow this same trend, creating these immoral characters, having them do something bad, and then defending those characters as if they never did anything wrong. But rather, the world is what's wrong, and these characters are good people who are just living in a wrong, upside-down world. I don't even think that the art is that bad. I actually kind of like the color palette. It almost seems like a waste of ability, honestly. I think they could actually draw and write some decent kids comics that have good morals in them if they really wanted to. Clearly, I guess they don't. So what do I think about an artist who makes comics about immoral people doing bad things and then defending those people? Well, like I said in the last video I made about the new guy meme, I think it's a way of justifying them being a bad person by acting like it's not a big deal, or even that it's a good thing. But even more so, this is an artist with a lot of followers who maybe have the same kind of thoughts. They're bad people, they do bad things, but they want to feel better about it. So maybe they latch on to this artist, and all together, collectively, they all feel better about themselves by laughing at their immoral habits. Curiously though, I can't help noticing that this can be taken as parody rather than a serious comic about a genuine main character that we're supposed to root for. I almost wonder if there's some self-awareness attached. Like maybe this is her way of trying to get attention, similarly to how there are tons of people on social media who will purposely do bad things just to go viral. I almost wonder if she's trying to establish that type of brand where she'll purposely write these nasty comics just to go viral. And it's not very hard to understand those types of people. They're basically the equivalent of a child who throws a tantrum, screaming and crying until their mom pays attention to them. But instead of trying to get their mom to pay attention to them, they're trying to get the whole world to pay attention to them. The whole internet sphere. And of course, when they get that attention, it's not that they want backlash. They don't want the mom to come over and smack them upside the head. They want to be pat on the back, asked if they're okay. You know, do you want to talk about your feelings? What's wrong? What can I do to help? Basically, she wants Steven Universe to come over and make her feel better, say these vague inspirational lines, and fix everything so that she's happy. And it's only when they're happy that they can be good people in their mind. As if the world owes them happiness first before they owe the world anything. I do find it actually very interesting. I kind of see this Flick Bean person as like the new Chris Chan, only a much meaner Chris Chan, where you know that they're crazy, but you just like to watch and see what happens. You're just kind of curious how it all pans out for them at the end. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little update on the new guy artist. Perhaps they will go on for the rest of their life creating accidental parodies and never truly being aware of what they're creating. Obviously, don't contact this person. If they really do want attention, the best thing you can do is ignore them, live your own life, make your own comics. Reward good behavior, not nasty behavior. So as usual, guys, remember to like the video. I'll see you next time.